Yes. Make sure you log on to doggiediamondstv.com after the stream is over. Just in case it might be a video in there that you missed. Might have been something that went past your timeline. It's all on that website. Everything is on that website. Log on to doggiediamondstv.com. Listen, man, and if you need promotion for your product, your music, have you heard about my $100 promo deals? Only $100. Let me give you some details really quick on this promotion. This promotion will be done on Doggie Diamonds TV and the Interlude TV. That's the Insta Stories, YouTube community, Threads, Facebook, and the Twitter accounts. I could promote whatever you need. Reminder though, this is for serious inquiries only. You must be Cash App ready, meaning that you're ready to do the promotion. I can help you bring more awareness to your products. Just contact me at Doggie Diamonds on Instagram, for your promotion. Listen, man, and this is a special right here too. She's now accepting new clients, consultation with Coach Kandaka. This is for artists, podcasters, business owners, content creators, and the services include social media growth, brand clarity, organic supporter building, rollout strategy, product management, monetization strategy. Just DM at Coach Kandaka on Instagram to book your session now. This is for serious inquiries only. If you're not ready and you don't need any of these services, please just come there when you're ready to work, or, you got an idea. Don't just be, asking a billion and one questions. It's get everything ready when you're ready. All right, let's go. Yes. So as you hear, I normally see the first name I see, I shout it out. First name I seen was Grump Bundy 716. We got Sticky Finger in the room. SCG Publishing is here. More money. Don't forget.
Doggie Diamonds did this.
Yes, Nate Jackson is always here. Big Mars here to hold the room down. Law student Callie, what's up? Rashawn Green, what's up? Kells, what's up? Kills. Yeah, let's say Kills. I always say Kells. It's Kills. Kills instead of Kells. Philly She, what's going on? Maxine Kenner, how are you doing? EC is in that green. That means that they are a member of the channel. They are a member of the channel, as you should be. Virgo Smith, what's up? Pamela Lee, how are you doing? It's Boss is green too. Member of the channel. Consmatic, what's going on? Rich Franklin, what's going on? Onika the Diva, how are you doing? Reggie T, what's up? Lucky, what's going on? We here. Don't forget to hit them like. The like is important. The like is important. Don't forget.
Doggie Diamonds did this.
I ain't gonna keep y'all long tonight. I know it's Monday, first day of the week. Shout out to everybody who had a long work day today. SMD 97 shows in the building that had a long work day. It's the top of the week, money making Mondays, but we about to get into Taco Tuesday. I want some tacos tomorrow. I love tacos. Malcolm was the Melanchithope. The contract wasn't signed. I don't know what that means, fam. I'm gonna keep it real, but thank you for your donation. I really don't know what that means. I gotta look some of them words up. Rich Franklin, what's up? Tori and Howard Terry is in that green too. That means they are a member of the channel. Earl Ellis, what's up? Mr. Bean 617. Yeah. Yes. Don't forget.
Doggie Diamonds did this.
So I'm not a person who, I don't deal with sadness well. I don't deal with sadness the way other people do. But we gonna have some fun, Yeah, that's why I say, we grew up with him. You know what I'm saying? We watched him grow up. He might be a couple of years older than some of us, but nonetheless, we watched him grow up, and he grew up with us in our household. So that's why I'm doing this show. Heritage Hip Hop, what's up? XR650, what's up? So shout out to everybody who's in the building. Rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner. If you don't know, he passed away on Sunday, which was yesterday. And I want to just give you, Abdul Latif, thank you for becoming a supporter of the channel. I just want to give y'all some clarity of what happened. So it says, Malcolm Jamal Warner, the Cosby Show dies at 54. Malcolm Jamal Warner, best known for his role as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, passed away at the age of 54. The actor died from drowning while on a family trip in Costa Rica. His career spanned various television shows, and he was also recognized for his contributions to music and poetry. He also did a lot of music videos too. He also did I think he was in a Milk video. That's when I first saw him. He was in a Milk D video. He was also in Houdini video. You remember he started wilding in Houdini video dancing? And he also I think he did Careful Click Click for Wu-Tang. But what we all know him for is Theo Huxtable, you know, positive person on the show, a little goofy, not in a bad way, but just like an innocent young kid, an innocent young kid who didn't know any better. Funky beat, thank you, Virgo Smith. An innocent young kid, and one of the first positive shows that we seen, where we seen like a black family that was a successful black family. You know, a father delivering babies, mother a lawyer, and that was like a part of our childhood, the Cosby Show. If I'm not mistaken, it came on Channel 4. And we was just all glued to the TV to watch this. Growing up, I was a big Bill Cosby fan based off of the Cosby, Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. So I love Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. So anything Bill Cosby was a go to me growing up. And that was just a part of our childhood. And, you know, it just to hear that somebody passed that was young, tragically, it affects all of us. You know, we all be like, damn, Theo. You know, even though he had a dope show called Malcolm and Eddie. Malcolm and Eddie was dope too. I like Eddie Griffin. Very, very funny comedian. That was a good show too. And we also, he meant different things to us because we knew in real life his love interest was Myra from Family Matters. And remember, she passed away a long time ago. We knew that was his real life girlfriend. So we always kind of took to him because he dealt with tragedy early. His real life girlfriend, who was Myra, I don't know her real name, but she always was Myra from Family Matters, passed away early. We knew that was his real life girlfriend. So it always hit different with him. You know, we always knew that was his girlfriend, and she passed away when we was young. When we watched, she grew up in our household too. And the funny thing is that Michelle Thomas, yes. He grew up like right before our eyes, and the Cosby Show just gave us so many people. Cockroach became Cole. Remember Cockroach from the Cosby Show? You remember Bud? It was so many people that came across that Cosby Show screen, and a different world spawned from there. Lisa Bonet is from there. It was just a very positive show, and it had a lot to do with our childhood because everybody strived to have that Cosby Show demographic. Like, damn, they rich. Like, and me growing up in Brooklyn, it looked like they was downtown Brooklyn because there's not too many places that have brownstones, Harlem and Brooklyn. And they look like they lived in like Brooklyn. It's a place called Brooklyn Heights in Brooklyn. That's very, very expensive. Even back then, Raven Simone, yeah, Keisha Knight Pullum comes from there. Like Raven, you know, so it always looked like it was in Brooklyn Heights. And Brooklyn Heights, if you know anything about Brooklyn Heights, you know, Gerolamo Street and the promenade and all that, that was rich that was expensive. Back in the 80s, them cribs might have been like $4 or $5 million. I don't know what they are now. They was that much when we was little. That area was that area. So them living there, we seeing them growing up in a brownstone, the mother, and it was the first show that we seen a successful mother, successful father, no vulgarity. Somebody said, Lychee Nut, you took it back. Yo, that's still there? Damn, I used to eat there too. I ain't even gonna hold you. Lychee Nut, pause. Yeah, see, J.E., you really a Brooklynite. You said Lychee Nut. I remember when they put the Five Guys down there, you used to have to go to Verizon store. That was the first Verizon store down there. But anyway, damn, you said Lychee Nut, you took me back. That's before TD Bank was Commerce Bank. Before TD Bank, it was Commerce was down there. But if you're a real true Brooklynite, you know what I'm talking about. And if you're not from Brooklyn, just ride with us because that's what made it special. They're living in Brooklyn. You got a successful mother and father, a family dynamic, an older sister, a younger sister. It's like 4 sisters because it was, I think Sandra was the oldest sister, and you had Lisa Bonet, you had Tempest Bliss. Yeah, you had 4 sisters and a brother. You had 4 sisters and a brother. But then you used to see the grandparents. Remember, the grandparents would come over. Bill Cosby's father. And think about this too. This is the first time that we seen these sweaters. And I don't think they was Coogis. I think they was something else. But then, when we started seeing the Coogis, I never saw a Coogi. So I ain't gonna act like I'm a fashion guy. We do black tees and, we do black tees around here. We ain't gonna have it might be a polo or something, but we do black tees. And this was the first time we seen like a family dynamic, right? And then we started seeing these sweaters. So the first time I seen a Coogi, I was like, yo, they got on a Bill Cosby sweater. That's why I used to call Coogis. I used to call them Bill Cosby sweaters. So yeah, I used to call them Bill Cosby sweaters. And it was just a good show, all around show, spawned a different world. And the different world was deep because from that show, we got Dwayne Wayne, we got Jasmine Guy, we got Jada Pinkett. We had all these people that come from that same tree of the Cosby Show. But Theo was special to me because, to me, he resembled my first cousin, who we have the same first name. We just have different family last names. So I was the Lewis, he was the Cromwell side. My cousin Mushy, who passed away, he unalived himself. But he used to remind me of my cousin. So that's why Malcolm Jamal Warner always, like, he favored my cousin. He favored my first cousin. And funny thing is that my cousin had my father's last name, which wasn't his uncle per se. It would be his uncle because he was related to me through our mothers or sisters. But my father was named after my father because my father went to Vietnam and I wasn't born yet. So I asked my aunt one day, I was like, why you named him after my father? He said, because you wasn't even born. You wasn't even thought about. Your father was going to Vietnam and we didn't know if he was going to come back. So they named my cousin. So we have 2 family last names, Cromwell and the Lewis. So I am the Lewis side, he's the Cromwell side, but we have the same first name. So a lot of times we would I was little. I was like the first little, like before Lil Wayne, before all of that. You know what I'm saying? I was little, so I was always the little one because he was bigger than me. He was older than me. He was the second oldest male grandkid. So yeah, That's what happened. So it used to remind me of my cousin, the way he looked, when we were younger. And you know, we grew up watching these TV shows that when we got older, it used to give us hope. It used to give us like, we feel like that could be me one day. Like, I want a Cosby Show family. I want the dynamic of the Cosby Show. And that's what the TV used to do to us before. And even the stories were still on at the time. Because they did it in waves. You had the stories. And if you don't know what the stories is, the stories was the All My Children's, the General Hospitals and all that. That was the stories. Then you had, from the stories, you had talk shows that came on. So the talk shows like replaced the stories. Then reality TV replaced the talk shows. Now you still have talk shows here and there. And once that reality TV hit, all positive TV was gone because we had a lot of sitcoms. We had it's called the soaps, but we call them the stories. It's called soap operas, but we call them the stories. Spanish-speaking people would call them novellas, I believe. But once that reality TV hit, the depiction of us on television was horrible. So we had a lot of shows growing up, because we could take it back prior to the Cosby Show. And some of them will be before us, but you had shows like What's Happening. Because I used to love What's Happening. I love What's Happening, but that's a little before our time. But What's Happening was real dope. You had Good Times. I used to love a show called Silver Spoons. I don't know if y'all old enough. If you're not 45 and up, just you might as well just click X. I loved Silver Spoons. I love Small Wonder. The Jeffersons. I love Silver Spoons because you had Ricky Schroeder was... Yo, I used to love... I ain't gonna front. I used to like Family Ties. Y'all ain't like Family Ties? I used to love Family Ties. Oh, Sanford and Son. Like I said, some of those is before us. Benson, Growing... See, the facts of life. And let me tell you something. What I liked about a lot of these shows, right? It wasn't a black or white thing. It was just television. And in this television, it was a lot of positivity, and it was always something to grow on from the show. It always was like some type of metaphor to learn something. I used to like a show called Night Court. Y'all like Night Court? I used to like Night Court. Now we could go... Listen, the Brady Bunch, remember Bewitched? See, this is when we going back. This is a little before our time, but it still came on TV, and we loved this TV. Different Strokes. Different Strokes. Saved by the Bell. I used to watch Saved by the Bell too. Give Me a Break. Yes, Give Me a Break. Was it Night Court? Was fire. Yeah, Night Court. This is what I'm saying, Hill Street Blues. But I'm going to give y'all one that I party pooped this whole live in this whole chat. MASH. When that MASH music came on, nah, that's the only show that came on television that I was like, nah, MASH, that music come on? Yo. MASH was trash. MASH was, come on, man. MASH was just Nah. Yeah, MASH, that's right. Yeah, Mook music. Time for bed. That MASH come on, time for bed. Soon as that music come on, you just looking around. You start, man, listen. Knight Rider. One of the dopest shows that was on. Remember Miami Vice? See, this was when we was glued to that TV. Mama's Family was fire too. The A-Team. Come on, man. How could we forget about? See, Falcon Crest. So you have Falcon Crest, Dynasty, and Dallas. That was the late night soap operas. I never watched those. But those are big. Heart to Heart. Remember Heart to Heart? The Golden Girls were actually the oldest one was, Benny Hill. I ain't gonna front. Benny Hill that was the closest you was gonna get to action. Too close for comfort. I remember that. Three's Company. Yo, you know the whole time, Three's Company, Jack Tripper was supposed to be a fun boy because Mr. Furley didn't want him living with two women. So if you notice, every time Mr. Furley came around, he would act like a fun boy. Y'all didn't know that? Maybe y'all didn't know that. What's the other one? The Odd Couple. See, some of them is before our time, but the Odd Couple was wild too. The Odd Couple. Yo, I ain't gonna front. That Laverne and Shirley was coming on. I ain't gonna front. I fuck with Laverne and Shirley. I fuck with Laverne and Shirley. I used to love Happy Days. What's Bruce Willis show? What's the Bruce Willis show? Damn, what's Bruce Willis show? Cheers. Bruce Willis. What's the Bruce Willis show again? I think of The Love Boat. Somebody said Janet from Three's Company was fine. No comment. I'ma chill. I think, yo, that was like one of the first I think thick white women on tape. Moonlighting, yes. Because the whole time people used to look at Chrissy. Remember, it was Chrissy. There was like 4 blonde-headed women on that show. The Greatest American Hero. Which I know about Small Wonder, though. Small Wonder is our first taste of AI. Remember, she was a robot. Remington Steele with Pierce Bronson. Rock, remember Rock? Whoa, 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 whoa. That's how the show started. You just like, yo, I ain't gonna front though. Rock used to get on my damn nerves. He used to just overact everything. I was like, Eleanor, you remember the Rock used to get, remember when the Rock, $6 Million Man, you had the Bionic Woman, Wonder Woman, who was not white. The Dukes of Hazzard the whole time. They had us on some messing with some Confederate flag. We was, yeah, all of us. Car ain't had no goddamn doors. Everything was, oh, come on, Eleanor. Remember that shit? Give Me a Break was dope. Mr. Belvedere. What else was dope? Oh, how we miss Sanford and Son? The Incredible Hulk, put that thing out. Gilligan's Island. Gilligan's Island is dope because that's a personal story to me. So y'all know my cousin Tad. He has a son, Little Tad. And he used to wear a bucket hat. And I started calling him Little Buddy from when Skipper used to call Gilligan Little Buddy. He used to wear this bucket hat. And I used to call him Little Buddy from when Skipper used to call him Little Buddy. And I used to babysit him as a baby. From me calling him Little Buddy, that's his name as a grown-ass man. That's not even his real name. So people will be like, Buddy. But everybody else would call him Buddy, but I still call him Little Buddy because he was my little buddy from the Skipper and Gilligan. So that's just mad funny. I thought about that. Chips was fire too. You know what was fire about Chips? That music. You ever listen to that music in Soul Train? But see, let me tell you something about that I didn't like about Soul Train. Soul Train came on the same time as wrestling. Oh, you talking about Fantasy Island, Dr. Rook. Yeah, that's Fantasy Island. Welcome Back, Kotter. See, that's them shows that's before us, but they still fire. Living Single, I kind of like started tapping out in a little bit. Martin, we got to always talk about Martin. What's the show with Ann Lansbury? Murder, She Wrote. Murder, She Wrote. Murder, She Wrote was fire. Kojak was fire. Beretta. And then we watched the TV shows. 21 Jump Street was fire. Head of the Class was fire. Oh, y'all remember Max Headroom? That was the first AI. Max Headroom. But then we also had the cartoons. We had G.I. Joe. We had the Thundercats. We had, y'all remember Dungeons and Dragons? Dungeons and Dragons is on YouTube. Watch Dungeons and Dragons, fire. Dungeons and Dragons was fire. We had He-Man. I ain't rock with She-Ra. I'm gonna keep it real. But listen, G.I. Joe, the Ninja Turtles, the Smurfs. I ain't gonna front. I used to watch Jim and the Holograms. I could take y'all back. Do y'all remember Sunday morning, Davy and Goliath? Do y'all remember Davy and Goliath? Y'all know nothing about no Davy and Goliath. They used to be like, remember Goliath used to talk? He'd be like, Davy. Y'all remember Davy and Goliath? Y'all know nothing about that. Y'all too young. Y'all know nothing about no Davy and Goliath. Y'all know nothing about that. What about The Little Prince? Y'all remember The Little Prince? The Little Prince. And then if we go through the Hanna-Barbera thing, we could be here all day talking about, but the reason why I'm saying this is because when we were young, the TV was very, very positive because we learned. Even when we watched Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, remember it was always a metaphor about playing hooky. It was different things. And reason why I said Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, because that was kind of like the Cosby Show became an extension of that. The Electric Company, Morgan Freeman was on there. Reading Rainbow. Sesame Street. You know you remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So when we were young, I feel bad for these children now because we had something that bonded all of us. Saturday morning cartoons. You remember being young, you get your bowl of cereal or that cream of wheat, and you get up early. Yo, it be Friday. All them days, you don't want to get up. Saturday, you up like 6. Saturday morning cartoons just did a lot for us. And it was a camaraderie because that was the time where we just didn't fight. Because we was watching Saturday. Saturday was so dope because you had Schoolhouse Rock. A lot of those jingles was Luther Vandross. Remember, and he watch out for the munchies. Remember, here munch this, here munch that. Look, you're fat. When you're feeling sad and blue, watch out for the munchies. It was telling you on Saturday morning that if you feel sad, don't eat a lot because you could get fat. You had Make a Choice, Jack. You can't lie on your back all day. That was Luther Vandross. It was so much that was teaching us as kids that, you know, we really used to learn stuff. You call me yuck mouth because I don't brush. Like, it was stuff like that. And then you had Saturday was a fun-filled day because you had the Saturday morning cartoons, and then 3 p.m., you know it hit. Them drive-in movies. And for the record, I'm number 5 of the Poison Clan. I'm number 5. Okay? If you know anything about the Poison Clan, I ain't giving you no hints. If you're a true blue karate movie fan, because it would say karate, but it was really kung fu. If you were a true blue karate movie fan, I'm number 5 of the Poison Clan. You figure that out. You know what I'm saying? I'm number 5. You could be number 1 or number 2. I'm number 5. I always felt like I was number 5. You know, you had Woody Woodpecker's like one of my favorite movies. Yeah, the 5 Deadly Venoms. I'm number 5. I'm the Toad. The Toad was number 5. Because we really thought we was that, like, we really was going up to each other. And just think about it, man. That just did so much for us because we really was going up to each other like, psh, heart, psh. Remember you would stand in front of somebody and be like, shit. But think about it. Them karate movies taught us a lot of discipline. Like, it taught us how to breathe. We'd be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it really did a lot. And that, yo, man, that did a lot. And it was so positive. Although we was kicking the hell out of each other after. But it really meant a lot to you going in front of somebody. Remember you have your fingers all types of ways and shit? You be like, you go in front of your cousin like this. You was doing all types of shit. Like, them karate movies had us just tripping. We be going like this. You don't know nothing. And then when we be like, you don't know nothing about this. We going in front of each other like this. It did us dirty. And then, you know, was so ill, right? Because we grew up on that. When Wu-Tang came out, it automatically resonated with us because a lot of those sounds we heard already. So that took us to our childhood that was missing. But I didn't like the karate movies when they had guns. Remember, the Venom Posse is the best movie. So the Venom Posse is the Masked Avenger, of course, the 5 Deadly Venoms, the Kid with the Golden Arms, the Brave Archer. It's a lot of them. I didn't know it was like 10 Venom Mob movies. The Cripple Avengers is like one of the dopest ones. A lot of them are on Prime right now, and some of them are on YouTube. The Incredible Hulk was fine. Hulk Hogan Rockin' Wrestling. Hulk Hogan Rockin' Wrestling. You had Kid and Play cartoon. You had you remember Gargoyles? Gargoyles, they were always trying to find the Illuminati. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember Batman, the first original Batman, Super Friends? Now look at this, right? Growing up, I knew about comics because my cousin that's in here, my cousin Simbo, they always had mad comic books, right? I never knew that there was a difference between DC and Marvel back then. So I loved the Super Friends. Remember Zan and Jaina? And I used to be mad at Zan and Jaina because Jaina always was the Wonder Twins, Zan and Jaina. Jaina always took the form of a damn animal. And this dude, Zan, used to always take the form of some element or some shit. He'd be like, one of the twin powers activate. And Zan be like, I'll take the form of an elephant. And Zan be like, I'll take the form of a bucket of ice. Like, nigga, turn into a gun. That's how I used to be when I was little. Yo, why you always want to be a puma and you want to be a goddamn iceberg? Yo, that used to piss me off. I'd be like, yo, out of all the damn things you could have turned into. Yeah. You turn into a guy, he always with some water or something. Like, yo, turn into a gun. Voltron was fire. Respectfully, there's some Asian kids that used to draw the hell out of Voltron. Voltron is the beginning of anime, as you know. But before Voltron, there was a show called G-Force. So you had G-Force was first. Then you had Voltron, but G-Force is first. The Brown Hornet was fire. You said Franklin. Franklin, you know, what is Franklin with that rabbit? Franklin is the rabbit, right? If I'm not mistaken. Or Franklin is, I think Franklin is the rabbit. Remember DuckTales? Woo! Hey Siri. What was the cartoon Franklin about?
Franklin is a children's television series based on the life
A
adventures
turtle.
of a young turtle.
Okay, what's the one with the rabbit? What's the show with the rabbit? It came on in the later years. And I used to think, remember the rabbit used to never talk? I used to think the rabbit was autistic, not trying to be funny or nothing like that. Arthur, there we go, young boy. Arthur. Was Arthur autistic? Remember, he ain't talk. What about, Power Rangers, Scrooge McDuck, Chip and Dale. What's the other one? But see, look at the TV that we used to have. That shit, we all knew all of this. Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse. Remember, Arthur. Wasn't Arthur? No, Arthur was a rabbit. One of them was a rabbit. Space Ghost Music. Well, forget I said that. I never liked Captain Planet. Now, this is why the Berenstain Bears. This is why our childhood was so fire. And like I said, I feel bad for the children. Remember Yuck with his doghouse? He take his doghouse off. He must have been ugly as a motherfucker. This is why our childhood was so banging. We had, Arthur was an aardvark? What was the one with the rabbit that was autistic? Anyway, moving right along. Previously on Ready to Die. Listen, we had Godzilla. What was your favorite Godzilla movie? I hated King Kong versus Godzilla. When King Kong won, oh man. I hated Mothra. Anytime Godzilla lost, I was tight. I was all pro Godzilla. And I hated that metal Godzilla. But Godzilla, remember they had a Godzilla cartoon? They had a card, Max and Ruby. There we go, Max and Ruby. There we go. Godzilla. Godzuki was puss though, right? He was blowing them O's out, blowing out them goddamn them weed O's. Yeah, the Jetsons. Yo, all right. Listen, before I get into my Godzilla story, I got a funny Jetson story. You remember when they stole Astro and they renamed that nigga Trowfaz? You remember? If you saw the Jetsons and they stole Astro, and they call that nigga Trow Faz. Look that up. Come on, Trow Faz. How you gonna steal Astro and rename that nigga Trow Faz? Oh my God. Like, come on, Trow Faz. Yo, how you call that nigga Trow Faz? Y'all gotta look that up. They call that nigga Trow Faz. That shit pissed me off. They stole Astro and call that nigga Trow Faz. You gotta look that up. Gamera, y'all remember Gamera? Gamera was like that turtle that spin. He was a fake ass Godzilla, I ain't gonna front. But he spin. Gamera used to spin. Yo, I used to love that was his righteous name. Yo, what's his attribute? Trow Faz. I be Trow Faz, Savior Allah. all due respect. I ain't watched Barney. See, it started getting a little spooky when we started dealing with Barney and like them five what was the name of them shits? Barney. What was them other motherfuckers? One of them name was Poe and all that shit. That's when I checked out. I was like, I never liked real talk. I never liked the Power Rangers. I ain't fuck with the Power Rangers. Because when cartoons transition from cartoons to humans, I ain't really like that. I ain't fuck with that. Teletubbies, yeah, I was good on that. Then I found one of them. I found out they tried to push one of them as a mook. Remember that shit? It was like, fuck is this shit? Muppet Babies. Muppet Babies was fire. Muppet Babies. I ain't gonna front though. I did used to watch The Blue Train. Yo, Garbage Pail Kids. I was Greaser Greg. I ain't rock with the Power Rangers. That's when we started hitting them 90s a little bit. I didn't rock with the Power Rangers. That's when I was off it. Yo, we didn't say 227 and Amen. We ain't say 227. I didn't like the GoBots either, though. I didn't like the GoBots, and I ain't like Voltron, the cars. I only liked the Lions. I did not like the cars. Y'all like the cars? I didn't like the cars. I only like the Lions. Oh, Thundercats. The real Ghostbusters. Nah, but I ain't gonna front. I used to like the other Ghostbusters with Tracy, the damn gorilla. I like Tracy. Oh, we said 227? Okay. We said Amen? Yeah, New York Undercover was cool. See, I could look at New York Undercover, right? But then Malik Yoba kind of messed that up. I can't really look back at that no more. Like, I can't really look at, remember Orko? Yo, I can't really, Mr. T. So I can't really look back at New York Undercover the same no more. Because he just did too much. We said what's happening. Birdman was fire. And Humanoids was fire. Oh, Inspector Gadget. How we forget Inspector Gadget? Remember, Mr. Claw was always stroking pussy. Yeah, Inspector Gadget was fire. Inspector Gadget was fire. Wasn't Inspector Gadget and Get Smart like the same thing? Yo, Buck Rogers was fire. Battlestar Galactica was fire too. See, I want to go back to listen to some of those. I mean, watch some of those you said Blue Falcon. Was it Nighthawk that was like the fake helicopter Knight Rider? Y'all remember Tron? So now look, right? Was TV. Captain Caveman. Oh, y'all remember Speed Buggy? What about what was the show where they always be racing? It was always racing. It was always like Muttley. Remember they used to always be racing? Muttley was always on there, and Dick Dastardly and all of them. What was the name of that? What was the name of that? Airwolf or Blue Thunder? It was one of them. Oh, somebody said Abbott and Costello. My favorite Abbott and Costello was episode was Meets Frankenstein. No, it's not Speed Racers. It's not Speed Racers. It's with the Johnny Quest was fired too. It was Wacky Races. Oh, it was Wacky Races? Okay. It wasn't Speed Racer. It might have been it might have been Wacky Races. It was a show about racing the whole time. Now see, the Three Stooges wasn't positive, because that's make you knock the shit out your brother, your cousin, or somebody. March of the Wooden Soldiers, fire. You know what's funny, right? And I had said this before. As we got older, the Honeymooners. As we got older and we learned about pagan holidays and stuff like that, we stopped, many of us stopped celebrating Christmas. And I think that was kind of foul. I think what we should have did was took Santa Claus away. I don't think we should have stopped celebrating Christmas too early, because we remember that time of the year when we was young, and when we came into consciousness, we took Christmas away from the kids. But it was a point that was really, really important in your life around Christmas time, because Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, because of Frosty the Snowman, because of A Christmas Carol, because of the Christmas Carol with the damn mouse, Mickey Mouse. That was a time when we was little. And Christmas was a time where we all remember togetherness and being together. Charlie Brown. We was all together because of Christmas, and I think we robbed the babies of that now. Like I said, I think we should remove the paganness of Santa Claus and all that. But I think we removed Christmas too soon from the kids, because it really gave us a togetherness. It wasn't even really about what we was gonna get for Christmas. It was more about the songs and the time, and you go outside and you see all these lights and all that. Yeah, we know it mean a lot of cap. We know what it mean, but I don't know, man. My baby's celebrating Christmas, man. I don't know about a tree. I don't know about all that. But they going to get to watch all the things that I watched, because remember, you used to say, it don't feel like Christmas. We lost the Christmas spirit. And this was the time where you knew all your family. That's what I used to love about the holidays. We knew you was going to see all your family. You know, everybody was going to stop over. You know, it was gifts for different members of your family. You know, you had to go to different houses. You knew Christmas dinner. And when we got conscious and we removed all of this, we lost family. We really lost family. When we started saying, oh, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, we lost family. Because that was bringing family together. This was the time where everybody was off work. And I think that really, really hurt us. You know what I'm saying? I think that really, really hurt us. The Cosby Show, they ate dinner together. They did a lot. And that's why we stay and nostalgia. That's why we say, remember that time, because it was a time in your life where, life was just fun. Who's cooking, who house we going through for Thanksgiving. This person specialized in this. Rest in peace to my brother Mel. He used to fry turkeys every time, every Thanksgiving. He outside frying turkeys. Because at one point, if you fry a turkey in your crib, you risked it all. He was outside frying turkeys. My Uncle Fred, rest in peace, used to make like a jambalaya rice. He would put turkey sausage. He would put steak. He would put chicken. He would put shrimp in this rice. So we knew he was going to have this fire rice. He would make his ham, but he would make a turkey ham for us. All of that shit meant something, and all of that has been taken away from us. Now we all estranged from one another. We all this side and all that. And I think that really, really hurt us. That really hurt us. And this is why these TV shows is important, because it reminds you of family. It reminds you of episodes and stuff. And, it was certain things that we would watch that we still talk about to this day. We still talk about The Warriors, the movie The Warriors. We still talk about the karate movies. We still talk about Crocodile Dundee. We still talk about this. And then the video games got put into it. So we start talking about Mike Tyson Punch-Out and Atari. We don't really have none of that. We don't really have none of that no more. And I think that's why we where we at, because every day is a repeat of yesterday. So when we think about Malcolm Jamal Warner and some of the people that we lost, we just got to think about them and be happy that we had them. I think a lot of times we don't do enough appreciating of the people that we had them. We'll be like, oh, I'm hurt. I can't really say I'm hurt, because if I've known of a person's presence for 35 years of my life, and I could think about things about them and laugh and think about positivity about them, I think it's selfish. I think it's selfish sometimes to act like I'm more hurt than their family. I think it's selfish sometimes to not just say, yo, I'm happy to have had them. I'm happy that they was a part of my childhood and when it was a good time. That's why I talked about positive TV shows tonight. That's why I talked about positive cartoons, movies, because it was a time where, we didn't know we was poor. We didn't know we didn't have. We didn't know that we wasn't supposed to eat cheese with the red string around it. We didn't know that when we went to the store with that book of food stamps. Everybody had that book of food stamps. We thought it was just us. We didn't know that when you wore these clothes and it was your brother's old clothes, or I was the youngest, so I got everybody hand-me-downs. I didn't know that it was normal for it to go to him, to go to him, to go to him, and go to you. We didn't know that. We didn't know when the coat got too small, give it to your cousin. We didn't know that. All we knew was that we had family. All we knew was when we went outside, yo, don't let nobody mess with your cousin. Protect your cousin. That's all we knew. So that's why we were so together. That's all we knew. Yo, think about now. Would you hold your brother's hand? You wouldn't even hold your brother's hand. Why? Yo, I ain't with that. But think when you was little, you had to hold your brother's hand. This is the only place where we sexualize shit that used to be signs of love. We sexualize that shit. Like when you was little, you hold your brother's hand. You walk holding your sister's hand. Now that you a certain age, I don't touch my hand, that's some mook shit. We used to see each other and hug. We used to see each other and one sibling get a beat and you cry because your cousin's in there crying. Or your cousin can't go outside with you, or your cousin can't go with you, or you couldn't go to your cousin's house. You would cry for your family. You would cry for your loved ones. You would cry. Now, you don't do nothing that shows love to your own family because it was just weird. It's weird now. They told you shit that, and my cousin is in here. I'm not gonna put his business out there, but different things happened in my family when we were younger. And one of the worst things they did to my family, and I'm very, very big on this with children, extended families with children, families that came together via marriage, via relationships. It's important that you keep children together because they're a part of each other's foundation and they're a part of each other's memories. The worst thing they did to my family is that they split us all up as children. They split us all up. We all used to be together. Any given day, it might be 10 grandkids running around the house. And then it became a time where it's only 2 of them. And then now, when is my cousin coming back? They're not coming back. So now we going to visit each other in different boroughs, and it just wasn't the same no more. My cousins moved down south when they grew up on St. James. You know what I'm saying? St. James, we was on Waverly. My other cousins in Atlantic Terminals. Most of my family live in one building. Then my other cousins on St. James. My other cousins in Atlantic Terminals. My other cousins in Coney Island. But Waverly Avenue was the place where everybody met. And you knew that everybody was going to be there. And one of the worst things they did is they split us all up. And it affected us as children because we all hung with each other differently. And they did that. And it really, really affected us. You know what I'm saying? Affected us. So as we grew up, we got real, real close because we was like, yo, my cousin is here. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't really grow up with cousins. I grew up with brothers. Like, we're not cousins. Like, all my cousins, we're more like brothers than cousins. There is no cousins with us. Like, so a lot of times when people would see Tad and they'd be like, I saw your brother. And I'd be like, for a long time, I used to be like, that's not my brother, that's my cousin. Then after a while, it was like, whatever, man. Whatever. Our mothers is sisters, whatever. Because your first cousin is more like your brother because your parents are brothers and sisters. They're siblings. Then remember, moving along, remember we had game shows we loved. Remember Press Your Luck? My grandmother loved Price is Right. Remember Press Your Luck? I love Press Your Luck. Remember Wheel of Fortune? Like, we grew up on Wheel of Fortune. I bust anybody ass in Jeopardy, though. But we grew up on Wheel of Fortune. We grew up on Change Your Heart. We grew up on Joker's Wild. We grew up on these shows. That was important. And $1 Card Sharks. That's the one I was thinking. I said Joker's Wild. The Love Connection. Be Back in 2 and 2. You know, those shows meant a lot to us. Double Dare, if you had cable. I ain't have cable, but at my cousin's crib, Uncle Sticks knew how to steal HBO. I don't know how Uncle Sticks, my uncle, rest in peace, my Uncle Jerome, he knew how to take a wire. Let me tell you, look, my cousin is in the chat room. His father took a safety pin, put it in a wire, and wired that shit to the TV and had HBO. I promise you. Y'all remember WHT? Nah, y'all ain't old enough. Y'all little. But Uncle Sticks knew how to get HBO in the crib. Yeah, HBO. Listen, y'all remember WHT? That's yeah, you know. I might have took y'all back, but yo, he had the old Family Feud. Yo, Richard Dawson used to kiss every chick in the mouth. Did y'all know that? He kissed every chick in the mouth. Yo, that's when, look, back in the days, HBO had all the boxing. We had Video Music Box. If you're in the tri-state area, listen, man, Video Music Box was so important to hip-hop culture and our upbringing too. We never seen Ralph McDaniels and no controversy. We never heard anything bad on his name. That's the first time we heard shout out. You said Elvira. Oh, you know what we forgot? I'm skipping. You know, I'm being a little all over the place. We forgot the Munsters, man. How could we forget the Munsters? How could we forget Beetlejuice? The cartoon and the show. How did we forget Edward Scissorhands? I love Edward Scissorhands too. Edward Scissorhands was fire. You know, but yeah, it was a lot that when we were young, you know, we watched these shows and it just really brought us together. The Addams Family. What else? Even Halloween, Elvira would pop out. Like, even think about this, man. Although it was pagan, although, you know, again, we know what we know. But just going trick-or-treating with your family was everything. And it was so dope that, think how tight we was, because we didn't have money for costumes. So your parents, grandparents, aunts would take whatever you had in the house, whatever they had in the house, and put it on you. So many of us was bums. You know, we would put on big clothes and be bums for Halloween. We would put makeup on our face. All of that shit meant something. We didn't have money for that fucking pleather ass suit. We didn't have money for that. Remember, it was just nothing but a plastic suit with a damn mask with a damn rubber band on the back. And you'll have some Superman shit on your face like this. We ain't have money for that. We would take whatever we had in the house. You would take red lipstick, put it right here. You had blood. Remember, you would take a white sheet, an old white sheet, put it on, cut the eyes out. You was a ghost. We would do all things like that. And that brought us together because his mask meant as much as you not having a mask, or his Halloween, what you gonna be? Or we could be twins, you know, and again, that shit brought us together. I seen something in here. Porky's was like our first porn. I seen somebody say something else. Big was a part of your childhood. The Goonies was a part of your childhood. What's another one I used to love? The Goonies. Big was like Stand By Me. Stand By Me. Yo. The Lost Boys. Purple Rain, The Lost Boys, Back to the Future. But you remember Teen Wolf. Remember Teen Wolf? Indiana Jones. Yeah, Teen Wolf. Never Ending Story. Yes. The Last Dragon. Crush Groove. Beach Street. Somebody said Vanessa Del Rio. Damn.
Guilty as charged.
You know, speaking of Vanessa Del Rio, she messed us up because she set a standard that, like, I ain't gonna get into all that. We gonna keep this PG. But she set a standard, right? We was just like, that shit still lasts to this day. Like, anyway, I'm gonna leave that one alone. No, we not gonna do that. Somebody say Harry Cooch.
That old wolf pussy. That old wolf.
The Golden Child. Blackula. I watched both Blackulas the other day, I promise you. If y'all like what we talking about tonight, make sure you hit the like. Hit the like up. Share this too, because I think shows like this helps people. Did we say Leave It to Beaver? Yeah, shows like this makes us feel good, because when we all supposed to be here, you know, RIPing, which we did, we paid our respects. But look how we having fun. Nobody's in here bugging. Nobody is being disrespectful to each other. This is important because, again, this is about our togetherness. Remember, Escape from New York. Remember Escape from New York? The Escape from New York was fire. The Toxic Avenger. Point Break was fire too. Popeye. Oh, how could I forget Popeye? I Love Lucy was fire. So, Jet Beauty of the Week was fire. The first Nightmare on Elm Streets, when he was like,
I'm your boyfriend now. I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
funny as hell, RoboCop. Do y'all remember the video game Narc? When they used to come at you and shoot needles at you? Y'all remember that? Lifestyle of the Rich and Famous too. So what was it? It was Heathcliff, and it was what was the other one? Garfield was one of them. Remember Garfield? Yo, y'all played yourself. How we gonna leave out Marmaduke and Clifford, the big red dog? Do y'all remember Goofus and Gallant? Y'all don't remember Goofus and Gallant? Revenge of the Nerds, Night Tracks. Y'all don't remember Goofus and Gallant? We left out Marmaduke. But what's the other one with Wordsworth, Mongo? That is Heathcliff. Friday the 13th. I'm just a Bill. Yeah, Bill was dope too. See, we used to learn stuff like that. What a Bill was. Gary Coleman. Ooh. The Jackson 5 cartoon. That was a little before our time, but it was still out. Tales from the Crypt was fire. But I liked Creep Show too. But we keeping it positive. Riff Raff. That's who it is. Riff Raff. Thank you, Philly Sheed. Riff Raff. Be a Berenstain Bears is definitely a Mandela effect. Y'all like remember Double Dragon in the arcade? Karate Champ? Y'all remember Dig Dug? Centipede? Miss Pac-Man? Do you remember Miss Pac-Man used to be able to play it and you hit the button and it go mad fast? Remember Cornbread Earl and Me? That was the first time you seen Lawrence Fishburne. Matter of fact, Cornbread Earl and Me, I think he might have been in. Yeah, he was in there. No, he wasn't in Apocalypse Now first. I think it was Cornbread Earl and Me. No, Wordsworth had bars. Bugs Bunny, Mr. Do, Elevator Action. It was Spy Hunter. Yeah, we said the Fat Albert cartoon. Yeah, they killed Cornbread. Yeah, that was our first traumatic shit. That and like Lassie and Bambi and shit. We was traumatized off that. We was traumatized off that. Coolie High. Coolie High, did you know Coolie High was an inspiration to what's happening? Look it up. We said Johnny Quest. Pinball machines was fire. Bill and Ted. Ooh, what about Weird Science? Y'all remember Weird Science? Weird Science, Short Circuit. See, I ain't want to say Pee Wee's Playhouse. That was the first time we saw Lawrence Fishburne. Jabberjaw. Yeah, Old Yeller. Look Who's Talking. Look Who's Talking too. Look Who's Talking was, if I'm not mistaken, was with John Travolta. Saturday Night Fever. Saturday Night Fever. Mac and Me. What was the one with the evil robot? Y'all remember, what was that scary movie with the robot? Like they put the robot was scary. Yo, remember Ghostbusters too. Ghostbusters, the actual movie. Bloodsport. Bloodsport was fire. The Terminator, Problem Child. See, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. We was watching the white movies. We was watching The Breakfast Club. We was watching Anthony Michael Hall, Deadly Friends. Thank you. That's the name of it. Claudine, come on. We was watching those white movies. We was watching 16 Candles and shit like that. I ain't even going front. Police Academy, my favorite movie ever, The Naked Gun. The Naked Gun, I ain't gonna lie to you, the movie that I watch every day of my life was Harlem Nights. Watch Harlem Nights every day. I know that movie like the back of my hand. The first Alien. Did y'all see the latest Alien? The latest Alien is Alien Romulus. It's dope. Beverly Hills Cop, Trading Places. See, I fucking Frank Drebin. Yo, they got a new Naked Gun coming out. Yeah, see, look, somebody said, I gotta see it. I saw the coming attraction. It looked like it's funny. Police Academy. Remember the dude in Police Academy was the beatbox. He knew how to make the sounds. Coming to America. Gremlins. Come on. See, that's our childhood. E.T., Star Wars. All right. Star Trek. All right. But let me tell you something. Star Wars. If you never watch Star Wars, please watch Star Wars. But don't watch episode 4. All right, this is the order that I want you to watch Star Wars, and it's gonna make sense. Watch episode 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3 is the new Star Wars. Then watch the old Star Wars, but they put the old one out. They put 3, 4, and 5 out first. Don't watch those. Watch the new ones first, then watch the old ones. Because the new ones was a prequel of the old ones. So watch episode 1, 2, and 3, then it's 4, 5, and 6. Y'all know nothing about DC Cab. Y'all know nothing about DC Cab. Yo, y'all remember? Oh, somebody said at the same time. Look, Bill Blast, shout out to you. Remember Fame? Remember Fame? Damn, whatchamacallit? Good Times brought us Janet Jackson. Remember Janet Jackson was on Different Strokes too? Yeah, Chevy Chase and Silver Streak. Oh, Which Way Is Up? Y'all know nothing about Which Way Is Up. Y'all don't know. Remember that nigga? Remember Irene Cara, you white bread Hockenberry chicken shit? Remember that in DC Cab? His name was Hockenberry. He was like, white bread Hockenberry chicken shit. Yo, I laugh at that every time. When he got mad at the white dude, his name was Hockenberry. You white bread Hockenberry chicken shit. Yo, I love that. Yeah, Webster. Remember he used to come in the room and be like, Web. Webster was fire. Webster was, yo, all right, let me give you one too. Did you know that Gary Coleman had a cartoon called The Kid with the Broken Halo? Y'all know nothing about that. I'm sorry. I'm taking y'all too far back. Straight out of Red Hook too. Just Another Girl in the RRT. Yeah, yep. Straight Hanging with the Homeboy. Yeah, definitely. So it was called The Kid with the Broken Halo. That was the Gary Coleman cartoon. And you had a kid that predates Gary Coleman called Rodney Allen Rippey. Y'all know nothing about that. I'm sorry. He's got a memory. I just remember everything. Look up Rodney Allen Rippey. He predated Gary Coleman. He was like the first small black kid besides like Stymie and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Stymie and Buckwheat was foul though. The Little Rascals, I love the Little Rascals. But think about how crazy Little Rascals was. Stymie was a little black kid with a bald ass head. Why Stymie ain't had no hair? Stymie was little as hell. And the dope thing about the Little Rascals was that we watched them grow up to be old. Remember the Little Rascals got old. Buckwheat, you ain't understand a goddamn word he said. I'm going to take y'all back to them goddamn McDonald's apple pies. McDonald's apple pies. Them damn White Castle milkshakes. I don't know what that was. That wasn't no milkshake. I don't know what that White Castle milkshake was. They used to give you a straw with that. All right. And yo, you used to eat them White Castle burgers? Yo, them shits was laxatives. Y'all don't remember them White Castle burgers? You be in the bathroom all goddamn day and night behind them damn White Castle burgers. I could take y'all back too. Dance Fever. Y'all know nothing about no Dance Fever. Tyrese singing in the Coca-Cola commercial. Yeah. Yo, now they got the McDonald's McFlurries in like some cardboard shit. Sizzler, Beefsteak Charlie's. Y'all know nothing about Beefsteak Charlie's. Y'all know nothing about that. Y'all don't know nothing about no Conways. Y'all don't know nothing about no McCrory's. Y'all don't know nothing about Dwayne Reed. Danny Terrio. Fuck you doing with Danny Terrio? The Gong Show. Yeah, American Bandstand. But y'all don't know nothing about Dwayne Reed. Y'all don't know nothing about no Circuit City. Y'all don't know nothing about Circuit City. Roy Rogers. I think it's still a Roy Rogers somewhere. Bennigan's was another one. It was a place in Brooklyn called Fat Albert's too. It was on Broadway. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Woolworths. Y'all don't know nothing. Oh, Caldors. Wow. Caldors was fire. Blockbuster. Yes, Blockbuster. The Wiz. Oh, somebody said The Wiz. Yeah, The Wiz. Denny's still exists. What you mean Denny's? Denny's is still Crazy Eddie. Prices are insane. Coconuts. Remember they had a Coconuts? They had Tower Records. Radio Shack. I think they still got one Radio Shack somewhere. Y'all don't know nothing about Paragon either. We don't, first of all, Nathaniel Thomas, you know damn well we don't say Tom. We say Tom D's. We don't say that whole thing. Yo, meet me at Tom D's. You already know what you're talking about. Meet me at Tom D's. Damn, George Michael Sports Machine. Yo, I used to love that for the replays of the sports. Damn. Buster Brown shoes. Oh, they got a Fat Albert in the Bronx? That's crazy. Herman Sports. Models. J&R Music Store. J&R I used to go to, used to be a computer store. Tom McCann. Payless. Vims. Jeans Plus. Now, if you're from Brooklyn, you remember Simon's. Simon's was on Pickett Ave. If you wasn't who you was, go to Simon's if you want to. Simon's turned into S&D's, if I'm not mistaken. S&D's. You had Dr. J's downtown Brooklyn. Y'all remember Dr. J's? Oh shit, there we go. Mook Music said I think Dr. J's was downtown. Siemens first. Siemens first. PC Richard. Yo. Do me a favor. And this is something that we all got to be responsible for. Although we have children who we could do a little bit more for, let's teach them not to tease the less fortunate kids. Because all of us had some what are those on. So now the kids can say what are those to other kids. We all had what are those on. Because I had Olympians. Let's keep it real with you. I had Olympians out of Kmart. Oak Tree had Kasi Crest. I was wearing that. Bill Blast. Oak Tree was in KP. And if you don't know what KP is, that's Kings Plaza. But we used to go shopping at Oak Tree. And they had a brand called Kasi Crest trying to dress us like the kid from Saved by the Bell. But I had some Olympians. Straight like that. Yo, Delancey Street, you go get your leathers. Delancey Street, you go get your leathers. So if you're from Brooklyn, the dope thing about being in Brooklyn, growing up in Brooklyn, or even New York, again, everything was family. Rarely did you go outside by yourself. Rarely did you did you wander around by yourself. And they were sending us to the store at like 6. Straight like that. I had Etonics too. Yo, we used to be on the bus by ourselves. Yo, remember when they used to tell you used to get on the train or the bus and you used to go under? And I'd be like, how old are you? And you'd be like, I'm 5. You really like 8? Remember that shit? Remember, if you was 5 years old, you was able to go under the train stall, or you was able to get on the bus for free. You had to say you was 5, though. You might be little and shit with a mustache growing in. Remember that? Remember transfers? Remember you used to have to get a transfer? You used to have to get a transfer? Listen, if you're from Brooklyn, you know about the Franklin Avenue shuttle. Ticket. Nah, y'all might not know about that. that might be too much. I never had no LA Gears though. I'm gonna keep it real. I ain't rock no LA Gears. That was just doing too much. We ain't do no LA Gears. What they had Wranglers. It was like some fake. I think hold up, what was first? Wranglers or Levi's? Wranglers might be first. Hey Siri. What came out first, Wranglers or Levi's?
Levi's came first. They
Oh.
produced the first pair of denim work overalls in 1873, and Wrangler followed in 1947 with what were by now called blue jeans. This
Damn,
answer is from blissful.com.
18 something? Damn. Yo, you know what's funny? Because I'm at a comfortable age though right now. I pretty much wear what I want. Like, I go in places when I'm looking for like gym clothes. I go in like Burlington and get the sweaters and stuff like that. Because why would you go pay $40 for a gym sweater or something like that, or gym? You know, you want to go in there and pay such and such. Yo, I still wear whatever. I don't care what's in there. I wear whatever I want. Like, I don't really be caring about. I'm not going to get no jeans that are $600, and I ain't doing rustlers. That's what I was. Earl Times, it's rustlers. That's what I'm thinking of. Rustlers was in Kmart, but I wear what I want. You know what I'm saying? Just for real, I wear what I want. Like, I don't, cause I'm not gonna look at the pants you got on and say, "Yo, he got on." I don't care. I don't look at man pants. And let me tell y'all something. To all the men out there, you go buy them expensive ass clothes if you want, because you'll try to bag a chick that went in rainbow and got dressed for $40. I'm just being real with you. You keep buying them expensive ass tracksuits, you keep buying them expensive ass clothes, and she got dressed for like $40 today. You know, they don't buy shirts, they buy tops and shit. She got tops and bottoms, and you go on the front for who? Only a woman ain't gonna look at you and say, what kind of jeans is those? As long as they fit nice, as long as you washed your ass, first and foremost. And sometimes you ain't gotta wash your whole ass, but make sure you wash your ass whole. Okay? As long as you wash your ass. I be wearing Pumas. My Pumas might be like $40, $50. Seriously, I ain't trying to, come on, man. I got mad clothes. Like, what are we trying to prove? That's for another man. If another man look at you and say, hey, this nigga had, yo, I'm not doing it. I'll just give me a pack of black tees. I'll go in Burlington. I'll go in TJ Maxx. They sell polos, plain black tee. It's polo. It might be like $40 for like 4 or 5 black tees. I'm good on that. I ain't going all out. Give me some Levi's, some black tees. Hey, call it a day. But if you think I'm going to be spending all that money fronting for other men, I got to put 93 in my car. I don't know about nobody else. My car need 93. So, hey, you could spend all your money on your outfit and smell like a goddamn moose in heat. I'd rather have some good smell goods. I could pop me a new black tee. Got good hats. Some good jeans. Some good kicks. And that's it. I always smell good. I bathe. Got a good skincare routine. And I make sure I'm groomed. That's all that matters. So you can front all you want. You could, your shirt is what? $400? Bless you. Bless you. Me? I gotta put 93 in my shit. I ain't popping out. Yo, pull up. For what? Nah. We don't go cruising. we don't just go joyriding. Pull up for what? My little cousin came. Little buddy came down here. I went and met with him. He took some pictures in the whip and all that. I'm like, yo, do you? But as for me, my days of fronting is over. I never listen. I ain't got a front for nobody. I am secure. I'm 100% secure. Now, I do have my habits. I ain't gonna front. I'm not gonna sit here and be a hypocrite for y'all. I like my tech. I like my gadgets. But, all of this stuff that I use is still coincides with this. I make sure I have the best, the best tech stuff to give good presentations to y'all. So a lot of times, when y'all give me donations and you give me super chats and all that, I definitely, I put it back into the brand. That's very, very important. Oh, and I got a big announcement too. When this video is over, please don't forget to leave a comment. Leave a comment on the things, and because we might have missed some stuff, right? So make sure you leave a comment on the video. I'm working on a show where it's gonna be on the Interlude TV, and I'm looking for content creators to do a show. It's gonna be more of a open show for other content creators. It's not gonna be on this channel. It's gonna be on my other channel. So I'm looking for content creators to be a part of a show. It's gonna be like a talk show. It's gonna be topic based. But you have to keep it, you cannot come on there. You got to keep it clean. You got to keep the language clean. And you got to have good quality. One thing that I'm not going to do is I'm not going to downgrade my quality to appease anybody. So I'm working on a show. Stay tuned. I will be announcing it soon. I have a name that I'm working on. I already have a logo. It's going to be on the Interlude TV. It's gonna be dope, you know what I'm saying? And if you're a content creator, you could be a part of the show. I don't care if you're a male, female, but I just want you to come on there, keep it clean, no wild talking, no cursing. Y'all could argue, y'all could debate, y'all could do everything. Yeah, I'm trying to find a Bag Fuel interview. And then the female by the name of Sugar, I did an interview with her. I gotta drop that. I got a lot of content to drop. But I don't know if y'all know, like I told y'all a few months ago, in April, I got into a car accident. So I had to really, really fall back from the gym. I had to fall back from a lot of stuff. So, I took all the necessary steps with my therapy and all of that. So now I'm just getting back to hitting the gym and getting into my routine and, trying to feel better. So yeah, the Interlude TV, make sure you subscribe. If you are a content creator, or you have, and another thing, they have Avias. Avia is an old school sneaker that Walmart sell for $20. Shout out to my cousin Mook. Love you, Cuzzo. My cousin Mook hit me the other day and was like, yo, Cuzzo, if you go in any Walmarts, see if they got them Avias. They $20. They're in style. I'm telling you, they got sneakers called Avias. They're only $20 in Walmart. Get you a pair. They're in style. Dudes are rocking them with respect in the street. Trust me, you will not. Nobody gonna say, yo, he got on. Everybody wearing them. They new gym shoes. Straight like that. Y'all better go up in Walmart. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get me a pair for a dub. What you in gyms with? What you in the gym with 270s on for? For other dudes in the gym? Come on now. Anyway, so yeah, I got a show that I'm working on. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm gonna find a Walmart and go get me some Avias. I needs those. So I'm working on a show. And it's going to be kind of like ran by other content creators because I got the channel, the Interlude TV, and I want to start putting more content on there. You know, whether y'all like it or not, to keep it real, we in a content shortage because many people don't know what to do. It's a lot of monkey see, monkey do with the content. Everybody's a podcaster now. Shout out to everybody. I ain't trying to, go there tonight. But the narratives that we're hearing in the content game are just a lot of repeats. I see Max B is on the tour. Shout out to him. But I'm watching him do interviews and stuff, and I'm like, there's no new information. There's no new information on a lot of these programs that we seeing. A lot of individuals got a lot of subscribers. They got a lot, but they don't got the content. So that's why I'm talking to content creators, because I want the content creators to control content, not celebrities, not rappers, not influencers, not socialites. No, people who know graphics, people who know topics, people who know how to speak well. That's what I'm looking for. You get what I'm saying? That's what I want to do. So just stay tuned. Of course, Doggie Diamonds TV 2 on Instagram. Follow that page, Doggie Diamonds TV 2, the number 2 on Instagram, and inquire. If you are a content creator and you got a dope show idea that you want to do, I got a channel sitting with 50,000 subscribers that I don't even use. So, let's work. Let's work. Let's put some stuff together. Let's do a lot. So that's it, man. I hope y'all had fun tonight. I hope I took y'all down memory lane. I hope you had a fun time talking about some of the stuff, your good childhood memories. And remember, history is a great place to visit. We can't stay there though, but every now and again we could go back and revisit history and talk about history because it was a good time. You know what I'm saying? There was no chaos tonight, no yelling, just fun. Rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner. Again, he grew up in our house. He was a part of our household. And that mean a lot when somebody of that magnitude passes away that we all feel like we grew up with. Theo was our cousin. Theo was our brother. Theo was our, he was our sibling. And, we watched, he grew up with us. And despite no matter what, we never know when it's our time, right? We never know when it's our time. And the best thing to do is just enjoy each other while we still here and just show each other appreciation when we appreciate each other. And, let's try to have more fun in life, and just do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. Live your life. I tell y'all every time, there is no rewind button on life. Listen, y'all. The people pleasing, it's in some of us to do it, but you have to stop because sometimes pleasing other people doesn't mean you pleasing yourself. So sometimes you could be so loyal to people that you disloyal to yourself. You owe yourself a lot. A lot of your suffrage, a lot of your trauma, a lot of your pain comes from what you want to see and how you want to help other people. We live in a day and time where appreciation is gone, man. Appreciation goes from praise one day to you ain't shit. That's why sometimes I have a hard time taking praise because the minute I say no, I can't, I don't want to, or it's not a good thing for me, people let me know how they really feel about me. So I go from legend to OG to you ain't shit, you're broke, this, that, and the third. So, just be careful. Be careful, move smooth. Anything you do for anybody, let me tell you something. I'm going to be real with you. Anything that you do for anybody, just do it from your heart, because it ain't going to be no reciprocity. You ain't getting no reciprocity. There is no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Most of the time, at the end of the rainbow, you're not even going to be there for it. So if you're happy with seeing people going on a journey that you might have started them on, if you're happy with seeing people continuing in certain places that you might have inspired them to do and they leave you behind, just make peace with it. Just make peace with everything. Everything that's gonna be is gonna be. Everything that's meant to be is gonna be. You cannot. I don't know if it was always like that. And I'm not going to get on my soapbox. But it wasn't always like that. But it's a day and time where it's a selfish energy in the world. And selfish doesn't always mean that you gave me money because I gave you money. Selfishness is just utmost gratitude and expressing your gratitude through actions, not always words. So although somebody like a Ralph McDaniels has never given me $1, he gave me hope to do what I'm doing today. Every time I see Ralph McDaniels, I do this. I say, I am your you are Yoda and I'm Skywalker. I will never put myself above Ralph, ever. I always say, Ralph McDaniels is Ralph McDaniels, that is Yoda. I'm just a Skywalker. That is Yoda. And that's how I pay my respect to somebody who inspired me. And for some reason, we got two things, and I say this to y'all all the time. We went from like and dislike to glazing and hating. You're not allowed to say what you like, because if you like something, you glazing. You're not allowed to say what you dislike because you hating. So now what people are doing, because they don't want to be a glazer or a hater, they are ignoring your efforts. So as you do what you do, your creativity, any good job you do not expect any interaction from people. Because nobody wants to glaze you or hate you. Nobody wants to glaze you or hate you. So now the best thing that people are doing, or the biggest thing that people are doing, is just ignoring your efforts. They see it. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about that like button. Don't worry about that thank you. Don't worry about none of that. They see it and they know it. So people now are ignoring your efforts. No matter what you do, people see it and they'll scroll right past your progress because they don't want to glaze you and they don't want to hate you. So they'll just ignore. They don't want, I didn't see that. I was offline. I didn't have my phone. It's all good. It's all good because the validation that you need come from the mirror. You know why you did what you did. You know why you do what you do. That's all that matters. With me as I create content, what I said yesterday means a lot to me. Every day is not just different content where yesterday don't matter. No, we do continuation shows. Like I said yesterday, I be wanting this to be like a series. That's why I stay uniform in what I talk about. I might have talked about something last week to revisit it. People, it was just content for the day. It don't even matter to them. No, we stand on what we stand on. We carry it the way we carry it. We don't switch up when we make a mistake. We apologize. Ignoring your efforts is a form of it. I mean, what could we do now? We can't make somebody see it. We can't make somebody acknowledge you. We going like for like now. You got people where you might create content and somebody might not be a content creator. But you didn't like something, so they ain't liking nothing you do. And now we measuring relationships off of likes. So we in trouble. You know what I'm saying? We in trouble. So anyway, we could talk about that another time. And I'm on some real positive tonight, you know. So these, like I said, these shows is important because remember too, certain narratives be painted of you. That's just untrue. Remember, nobody really knows you, but you and the people who love you. At the end of it all, we're all just screen names and avatars and personalities on the computer. Some of us have never met in person. We never converse with one another. We don't know each other. And I think from when we see each other, we think we know each other from what we see. We really don't know each other. We just know of each other. And we will hope that who a person says he is or how he carries it, that's how he really is. But I'm telling you, a lot of these dudes are fake. Me is the real deal. The only difference is I don't really be mad. If you speak to me on a day-to-day basis, I play all day. I have fun. Like, life is, you know, I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be a part of life. I have fun all day. All day I'm having fun. But when we come to this internet, we got to be defensive because people will play with your name. They'll play with your likeness. They'll play with your family. And then you got to remember me being a public figure, which I don't consider myself to be a public figure, but I am in the public, constantly under attack. If you look at the comments sometimes, all people, they don't even talk about the content. They talk about me. And it's the same cast of characters. Look at the comments. I can show you comments from people. Everything is something about me. Like, damn, man, you obsessed with me. You obsessed with me. Like, damn, you don't like me. Okay, I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? That's mental illness. So sometimes you got to remember this. Some of us might have been in an advanced class. Some people was in the class with 2 other kids. Now we can't tell. Comprehension is lost with many. A lot of people go off their feelings and not what they know. So that's why people start conversations with, I just feel like, you know, but yeah, let me go. I got other work to do. Maybe I could find this bag fuel interview. I'm in edit mode right now. So let me stay in edit mode. And again, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the Cash App. If it wasn't a Cash App, I appreciate the like. I appreciate your viewership. I appreciate any super chats I get. All appreciation. You know, a lot of content coming out, and we got other channels that we working on and other things that we working on. Messing with y'all, I was able to buy. I don't know if y'all know what this is. I showed it the other day, but these are microphones that you pin on yourself. This is the DJI tool. I was able to buy this, so now when I do interviews, I can mic people remotely. And yeah, I was able to buy this. Again, I want y'all to know I really, really invest in the product. That's why I look and sound like this. I'm not one of them people who take your money. I don't do drugs. I have no habits at all. My habits is this. My habits is working on a brand. This right here costs like $300. I could have went and bought some jeans, some phone pouches. I could have bought all of that. No, I spend money on the product. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what this is all about. I spend money on the product. I really invest in this. So yeah, that's it. So I appreciate y'all for supporting me. If anybody has any product you want me to wear, anything, I'll give you my P.O. box, everything. So yo, man, shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all share this too. Let's get them shares up. Let's get them likes up. Until next time, I'm Doggie Diamonds. I'll be back tomorrow. Peace.